ng articles of impeachment. Kasi sila yung may kagagawan nun na rinemand nila yung articles of impeachment. So para sa akin, the better argument, the best position is that mali pala yung pag-remand namin. Nandito pa sa amin yung articles of impeachment. As a matter of fact, sinama namin yan doon sa summons as issued to VP Sara. So, wala yan yung mga especially motions that would result really in non-trial kung if it is favorably acted upon. At saka yung mga nakikita natin ng mga developments, yung mga moves na yan, yung latest na yan, na may ganyang statement that we will rule on the motion to dismiss, I think ang pinaka-strategy talaga ng depensa is towards avoiding trial. They will do that at all costs. Gagamitin nila all tricks in the law books, in the trial practice books. Gagamitin nila yan para maiwasan yung trial. Diyan sila takot. Aminin man nila o hindi, I believe na yan ang kinakatakutan nila na lumabas ang ebidensya. And it is only through the trial proper na makikita ang ebidensya. Kaya mali rin yung sinasabi sa verified answer ad cautelam na there's no evidence to speak of. Wala daw ultimate facts. In other words, nagiging masyado silang technical. How can they say that na walang ultimate facts na sinagot nga nila May mga denials nga sila. Like for example, yung tungkol sa threat to assassinate, the plot and the threat to assassinate the president, the speaker, and the first lady. There were several paragraphs, more than 10 paragraphs or maybe 18 paragraphs na dinideny nila yon. Wala daw threat. She never intended to really scare those concerned. Ganon din dun sa usapin ng confidential funds, another very significant and strong article of impeachment. The abuse and the misuse of confidential funds. More than 30 plus paragraphs nandun sa verified answer ad cautelam na sinasabi nila wala daw ebidensya. Pero how can they say walang ultimate facts na sinagot nga nila And then sasabihin nila walang ebidensya. Kaya magta-trial Yung trial proper, yun ang pinaka-stage kung saan ilalabas ang ebidensya ng prosecution. Hindi required sa complaint, any complaint, kahit hindi nga impeachment complaint, na ipalabas mo na kaagad ang ebidensya. Okay.
Ito lang, baka lang makakalimutan ko, pero gusto ko muna pag-usapan din yung voto na pwedeng mangyari dun sa motion to dismiss. Nabanggit niyo po yung threat ng Vice President against the President. Maliwanag naman niya, milyon-milyon po yung nakapanood niya. Talagang sinabi niya, pumontak siya ng papatay at pumayag. Kung sakali raw may mangyari sa kanya, papatayin yung Presidente, First Lady, at saka yung Speaker of the House. Tanong ko po, kunwari talaga nagkaroon ng trial na at pinag-usapan na po yung first article of impeachment. Kukuha ba kayo ng mga psychiatrists, yung mga eksperto pagdating sa mental health, para alamin kung meron bang ganung problema may Vice Presidente? Kasi yung pa tinatanong sa akin ito, meron bang problema sa pag-iisip yung Vice President para gawin? Would that be done, for instance, when this particular article is tackled sa impeachment trial?
Hindi ko po masasabi yan. As I said, hindi pa naman talaga ako nagpa-participate in any of the discussions or meetings of the prosecution panel. Although napadala naman po sa akin na yung records which I started to review. Now, tungkol nga dun sa tama yung sinasabi mo kanina, Christian, actually, this is indisputable. Kasi nga, milyon-milyon ang nakakita. Res ipsa loquitur. Ano pa bang tawag mo doon? Kundi threat ng nananakot. Ano pa bang tawag mo doon? Kundi may diferensya. Psychological. You don't do that. Especially, you are the second highest official of the land. I don't think may ibang bansa na may ganyang opisyal na Vice President, very high official, na mag-threaten, lalo na threat against the President himself. Ano po ba tawag doon? Nasa may tamang pag-iisip ba ho ang ganon? At saka ano pa yung mga sinabi niya? Yung mga paulit-ulit na mga PI niya. Is that proper? Is that sanity? So, whether or not magpipresent ng psychologist or psychiatrist, hindi ko pa po alam kung because I also do not know kung sino ang naka-assign na prosecutor and private prosecutor na mag-handle that particular article, which happens to be article number 1.
And I think people should also be reminded, Congressman, kung ano ba talaga yung dapat na mga tanongin at sagutin. Na very, very basic dito sa impeachment na issue, di ba? Fit ba itong public official na ito para manatili sa kanyang posisyon? At pangalawa, dapat pa ba siyang payagan humawak ng public office? Di po ba? Kasi parang nakakalimutan because of all this discussion sa technicality.
Yes, that's the very core questions that need to be answered, that need to be seen, that need to be appreciated, especially by the public. Kaya nga, accountability. Ang impeachment is all about accountability. At yung magandang ground in terms of any impeachment case is betrayal of public trust. Yes, yung mga culpable violation of the Constitution, high crimes, graft and corruption. Yes, those are grounds. But actually, yung ground of betrayal of public trust attaches to all other grounds for impeachment. Kasi kung nag-aasta ka ng ganyan, kung may nag-threaten ka, kung hindi tama yung ginagamit, ang pagkagamit mo ng confidential funds, and then worse is kung nabubulsa, napupunta sa bulsa na may misappropriate. And then yung pagkakaroon ng bank accounts na very significant amounts na hindi na-reflect doon sa SALN. Questionable yung very dubious yung sources of those funds, of those money sa mga bank accounts niya. And then yung tungkol din niya sa extrajudicial killings ng mayor siya, yung mga sinasabi noon ni Arturo Las Cañas. In its totality. Kaya nga yung Article 7 is of the seventh article of the article of impeachment. Yun ang Article 7, the seventh and last article of impeachment. Sa kabuuan ng kanyang mga misbehavior, misconduct, and also a violation of the trust of her oath as Vice President. These are all acts of betrayal of public trust. So pag mabetray mo na, pag ang isang opisyal ay mag-betray ng public trust, hindi ka na karapat-dapat na manatili sa posisyon na yan.
Okay. Punta po natin na Congresswoman yung possibility nga na pagbotohan ng Senate impeachment court kung boto to dismiss. Ay isip ko, hindi ba against yung sa spirit ng impeachment process to hold impeached officials accountable kung ang mag-decide sa kahihinatnan ng proceedings ay sa simple majority, whereas nandun din yung requirement na 2/3 para i-convict. How do you take of that?
Kaya nga, hindi ko masasabi na mali yung majority. Kasi ang sinasabing by majority vote. Kasi nga ang malinaw sa Constitution ay yung 2/3 in order to convict. Pero hindi na dapat pinag-uusapan pa yan. Hindi na yan dapat pinag-uusapan. Yung pagpapaboto ng majority vote when it comes to moves or prayers for dismissal. Because that will actually undermine the whole impeachment process. Dahil nga, ang pinakamandato ay itry nga, ilitis at ipakita yung ebidensya at sagutin nung inaakusahan kanyang mga through her defense evidence, if any. Hindi yung iiwasan yung proseso. Yan ang talagang hindi sakop at yan ang talagang para sa akin clear violation of the Constitution. Yung iiwasan yung impeachment, yung trial mismo. Kasi ginagawa nila lahat na lang. They're taking issue on the form, on the substance, and the procedure. When for me, the form and substance of the verified complaint for impeachment as well as the articles of impeachment are sufficient. And yet, kasama yun sa defenses, kasama yun sa mga sinabi sa verified answer ad cautelam. Ito mga procedural, ito mga technicality. That should not go, or that should not be a hindrance doon sa pagtackle na nung pinaka-meat ng impeachment process. The meat is to ferret out the truth.